happy anniversary to my mom and dad. 47 years yesterday. Congratulations.
Congratulations to them.
And now we go into a match of a couple of great competitors, and we're going to see some clinch fists. We're going to see some sneers. We're going to see everything. I'm looking forward to it.
David Ozio to begin on lane 25. Putting the pressure on quickly. Ozio with a strike in the first.
Well, who wants it more? I think it's a flat-footed tie, and here we go with Pete, one of the greatest players in the history of our game. Very talented Pete Weber, and only his second tournament of the 1998 campaign.
And Weber.
He told me that he had a little more room to the right today than he had in the past, and there is his lovely wife, Tracy, who, by the way, is mic'd.
Look of concern. Weber for the spare in the first.
Hard and straight. Great spare shooter. Doesn't want to give David Ozio too much too soon. Needs to start striking here in the second frame. You know, I alluded to him bowling in his second tournament. He actually had a little bit of trouble last year and made a comment to the press that was maybe a little inappropriate. Was given a little bit of a vacation early in the year, but that's all behind him, and we'll be seeing a lot of Pete Weber, and it's good to have you back, Pete.
And he got the roll back in the second frame with the strike.
And take a look at this backswing. He's way up above his head with the backswing. That nice release, the good arc into the pocket. He'd like to keep it there. David Ozio now up in the second frame for 10-pin lead. And he's giving five to the people in the crowd. What do you got, your uncle here, David?
I'm not sure he was all that confident at release.
Well, we'll take a look at the reaction. Will it get there? You darn right it will. Let's go celebrate with somebody. You'll do.
He is such a competitor, loves a challenge. He says his kids hate playing Monopoly with him because he tries to win.
Yeah, he's going to try and crush you no matter what he's doing, and he'd love to be 20 up on Pete Weber.
And he is.
Oh yes.
3 in a row for David Ozio. That's the way he begins our championship match.
The right-hand lane, the one that doesn't hook back quite as hard. Pete Weber left the 2-4-5 in the first frame. Must make some type of adjustment. Cut the deficit to 10 pins with a strike in the third.
Weber with a strike.
Now look at that. Yes. Pete Weber, a fan of bodybuilding and showing a little bit of it. As we see the ball coming right at us, watch the pins. It just opens them up. Just opens up the rack, and the great reaction from Pete Weber. Watch this. He's going to
look at those eyes.
Look at the bodybuilder, Pete the bodybuilder Weber, all 135 pounds of him. For 3 in a row.
And he got it.
Look at that reaction. I'm telling you, there's a boy who got some one in him.
El Nino Weber.
Take a look at Pete Weber. We've seen this many times over the years. This is high flush. And you want to see a reaction from a player? Does he want to win this tournament? Come on, tell me about it.
We have equal parts Ozio fans and Weber fans.
Hang on, David.
4 in a row for David Ozio.
What a great start to the championship match. David Ozio, 4 in a row. Pete Weber with 3 strikes, trailing by 10. Pretty good stuff, don't you think, Mike?
This is exactly what you expected here in our championship match. 2 terrific competitors. David Ozio has been coming to bowling centers as far back as he can remember. Says he could keep score long before he could even bowl.
For 5 in a row in the 5th frame. That's got to stop. That's got to stop. And the solid
nearly
9.
the wraparound.
The ball looked left off his hand. That's a product of reactive resin bowling balls. We'll take a look. Watch, the ball's going to cut right through in the pocket, but the 9-pin, nothing touches it. Almost. It'll be a spare for David as he makes the 9-pin. Kind of a tough break, but the ball looked a little bit left on his hand.
So 4 strikes for Ozio, following with a spare in the 5th. And Pete Weber down by 9. Working on 3 in a row.
Pete Weber on the left-hand lane, he's gone flush. On the right-hand lane, 2-4-5, and then still a little light the last time.
He wastes very little time.
Oh, he's dialed in.
Money.
He's got that lane now. You can see the way the professionals figure out the lanes. Take a look. Look how high this backswing is. It's way up there in the ceiling. We'll see the ball arc out nicely. Here's what you want. High in the pocket, flush in the pocket, with a 1-pin lead, going back to 25, which seemingly is his good lane. And a great break. Great reaction from Pete.
So Pete Weber gets a break in the 6th frame. He's got 5 in a row now in our championship match. David Ozio is down by 11. He's got some work to do when we come back to Toledo. David Ozio trailing by 11 pins in the 6th frame in our championship match at the National Championship here in Toledo, Ohio.
Coveted National Championship. David Ozio, he's only missed once this game. He's down by 11.
And a strike in the 6th.
And that one shot where he didn't strike, lane 25, the solid 9.
I mentioned, Marshall, that he's had this vision that he's going to win 2 more tournaments as a member of the PBA Tour. He's got 11 wins, 11 titles so far. He's in the Hall of Fame, but he says the number 13 keeps coming at him.
Well, he could go right past 13. He could win a lot more than that. He's got the great natural ability. He just lets it happen. Hurry up, ball. And he's heartbroken. That was a great shot. Solid 10. And a terrible time to happen for David Ozio.
These 2 guys show a lot of emotion.
We'll take a look at the ball coming right into that living room of yours. Watch the 6-pin. Goes right around the 10. And the reaction of David Ozio is one of disbelief. Hard and straight.
There in the 7th. Flips it.
And we'll take a look. Now watch David Ozio. He thinks yes, it's gonna go. Oh my God.
Can't believe it.
No. Maybe not David Ozio's best side.
Pete Weber in the 7th.
Chance to up,
5 in a row.
To up that lead to 20. That's got to really hurry. Look at that break. There's the break of a champion right there, Mike.
His wife, Tracy.
That a boy, keep it going. Let's take a look at the pins, Mike. Hey, just barely touches the 2-pin, and it goes into the 4-pin, into the 5-pin, and oh yes.
This is a guy with so much talent, so much confidence.
You know, it's amazing. Pete Weber, who would have ever thought? I mean, if his father, Dick Weber, one of the greatest bowlers in the history of the game, how do you follow in those footsteps? I don't understand how he could do that. It's really a credit to his own ability. He came out here and established his own name, and now I think Dick Weber goes as Pete Weber's father.
And Ozio answers with a strike in the 8th, down by 31 pins.
And I think Dick Weber would prefer to be Pete Weber's
definitely would.
father.
One of the real class acts in all of sports, Pete's dad, Dick Weber.
Absolutely.
So David Ozio.
David Ozio with a chance to shoot 259 if he takes it out in the 9th and 10th frame. And he wants to have any chance at Pete Weber. He desperately needs a strike here on lane 25.
And he got it.
And he looks at the pins as if to say, well, it's about time.
Where were you the last time?
Got one.
So take a look at another textbook delivery from David Ozio. And he's just going to stand there and watch this. He knows it's great. Watch. Hands on the hip. What about this shot? Huh?
Weber in the 9th. Another strike. going to add to his 21-pin lead. And it's now at 31.
Talked about expanding the strike zone earlier in the telecast. Pete Weber has done that, and in a very, very big way.
8 in a row for Weber.
Does he like it? Is he having any fun? Is he any good?
Boy.
And the look of disappointment on the face of David Ozio.
And David gives him the congratulations. What a great, great champion Pete Weber is. And, you know, if there's one thing Pete Weber wants that he doesn't have, he wants to be Player of the Year, and he's got the talent that mandates him doing just that. I'm not sure what he's saying, except I think he's saying hooray.
I'm sure we want to know.
Good for you, Pete. We're proud of you.
He's a big pro wrestling fan, you know, and he promised himself a self-high five if he would win the national championship. And that's exactly what he has done, finishing with a 277. Of course, the PBA Triple Crown is when you win the national championship, the U.S. Open, and the Tournament of Champions. And Pete Weber, another one of our competitors, Mike Albee, today, is 2 of 4 Triple Crown winners, along with Billy Hardwick and Johnny Petraglia. Pete Weber wins yet another major championship.
David Ozio finishing out the game, both the nights 236.
So Pete Weber in our championship round defeats David Ozio